The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everyone. Basil, Chapman sitting in for Tommy O'Brien. Hopefully he's going to be back next week. We'll see if that works out. We miss him a lot. 38,306, up 18 in the Dow futures. Now, I had a very low trend gauge reading as a technique that I developed a long time ago, where I used Richard Arm's trend gauge. I actually have nothing to do with it. I know how it's created, etc., but that's got nothing to do with it. Over the years, it's always trial and error for me. It's called the School of Hard Knocks, in the postgraduate School of Hard Knocks. But that's how we learn. I mean, some people don't have to learn like that, but it's the way I do it. And I figured things out from that way. And I found out that if the trend gauge was very high, I have a certain number. That's the only thing out of all my technical tools that I never discussed, because that's going to change someday, so I don't want to be misleading. But there's a certain number that if it goes above, then I used to say, and this was for decades, I would say that within 2 sessions, the S&P futures should have a strong rally. That's even if it's very weak, but it's saying be wary of the fact that there's still internal strength. And that has a very high percentage reading. But over the last 4 months, 3 months, I've changed it to the very next day. That's overnight into the next session. Well, we had a very low Chapman wave gauge reading. And I'll just show you this for the moment. Why not? And I'll do it in my technical hour in my show, the 10 o'clock Tiger Technicians Hour, if I remember. But in the meantime, it was a low reading, and that says, regardless of where the Dow futures are overnight into the next day, if there is a low reading, the very next day, and this has got a 93% accuracy rate, doesn't happen very often. In fact, it hasn't happened since October. This is the longest it's been without a reading of a very low trend gauge, which means just on a very short-term basis, it's kind of oversold. It's the next day, no matter how much the futures are up, there should be some negative action in the Dow. Sometimes it's 1 point, sometimes just a huge turnaround. Sometimes the futures are up 350 to 380 points. And somehow intraday, there's this huge slide. I've seen it twice now in the last year or two, where the futures were up huge, and then the price came down. It didn't go to negative. It did everything that it should by saying there could be a sharp pullback, but it never went negative. So I call that a miss. But in fact, it really was a fantastic reading, because it said there was an overbought condition that should get oversold, and then the market tries to get back on track again. All right, enough of that. So the futures are only up 18 right now. They were up at the 38,467 level. They're 160 points. 38,467. 160 points lower than that. Right now, we'll see. Days young. Let's go to the S&P. So the S&P, we'll go to the ES. That's the continuous contract. Had a pop up to the 5140 level. Do you realize yesterday it was down to we watched this very closely. It went down to the, right here, down to the 5,022, I think. Yeah, 5,022.25 level. And here it is. Almost what it was, over 100 points high at 5140 earlier on. Now it's at 5,118.25. All right, now I need to do this because it's Friday. At the end of the day, we're going to see exactly what happens. Let me just do this. I'm not going to waste time. I want to go straight to the weekly charts. The weekly Dow, the YM, I'll do this because it's really important, and we always have new listeners around the world. So let me just show you something. In the Chapman wave, we try to identify the lowest low bar and then count each successively higher peak. If after peak A, there's a pullback and you get to B, that's usually where you can judge whether or not there's an upgrade of the buy signal to a buy mode, which suggests strongly that there should be at least 4 higher peaks and then anything can happen. You get a Chapman wave instant restart. That's within 3 bars. It goes higher. You can get your sharpest decline. Look at that decline there from that high that was made right there on April. That was the first. That was a peak D. And now what we've got is a peak D, the fourth highest peak. That's your obligation in the Chapman wave, is to get you from a buy signal to a buy mode, meaning you're going to go to at least a D, 4 higher peaks. Well, lo and behold, after the spectacular October the 27th, here we are, having made a peak D, and this is the third week now that you've confirmed, because a lower high makes a peak, right? So that's what you've got. And the 9-period moving average in the weekly chart is still strong. We're going to see what happens within a week. Friday, a week from today, we'll see if that green moving average goes pink underneath the 14-period moving average, or if it holds and it actually leads to a spring to the upside. The E-mini, now where did I type that? The E-mini, I'll click that again, try that again. The E-mini is trading right now at 33.50. Of course, that last 15 minutes before the bell was just amazing yesterday, going into the bell when Microsoft and Google their earnings came out and they just soared to the upside. So here we've got the E-mini up 33 at 5,116. Nice gray leg A, because the stochastic hasn't confirmed and the MACD hasn't confirmed by crossing positive. 9-period moving average is still way under the 40. This is still negative. But look at this. You've got your peak D in the weekly chart in the E-mini. Oh, wait a minute. So you've got Dow, S&P, Russell 2000 at a peak D in the weekly chart, already taken out the 200-period moving average support, but it's above it now in the weekly. Wait a minute, NQ, weekly chart, peak E. So that's the reason why I am looking at this and saying that I have to consider, let's go to the XLK, that's the S&P Select Tech Spider Fund, peak E. Wait a minute, what about the SMHs? Well, the SMHs, the semiconductor index, made its high at 239.14 on the 8th of March, and it's gone all the way down under 200, and now it's trading at 212.94, up 74, but it's a peak E in the weekly chart. Okay, so that just says to me that the technique that you've used, one of the myriad techniques in the Chapman wave methodology, and that's using, this is the chart you're looking at right now, Salesforce. Look at that. Look at that 9-period moving average from the moment it crossed positive on the 3rd of November. This is a daily chart of Salesforce CRM. It was green. There was one weekend where it went negative, and that was the weekend of the 5th to the 8th of January. And then it went back to green, and now it's been pink with a very wide 9-period moving average below the 14. I would not ignore that. To me, that is really important. Got to go to, there we go. Let's do these. So now you can see it, this chart on the right, INDU. Look, there it is. Pink, deflected lower. There's the S&P, SPX.X. Pink, deflected lower. QQQ, pink, deflecting lower. IWM, pink, deflecting lower. That's negative on those daily charts. I'll be back in a moment. Basil Chapman sitting in for Tommy O'Brien. This is the Morning Market Kickoff Hour.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Tower, where the price goes, it always happens at 8:30, or when there's an economic report that comes out. It doesn't always happen this way, but this is the time period in which it happens, is that there's an economic report and the immediate response is just a huge spike down or spike up, and then it starts to pull back or rally. And in this case, it was a spike up. Look, here's the Chapman green Roman candle. It's a 5-minute chart. Say for about 30 seconds or a minute, it was holding about 51.34. There's a chance it would have hit the high of 51.40.25. But because it's been down, and for the next number of bars, it's been underneath the low of this Roman candle, that's what we've got is a pullback. Now, within that context, I've got a technique that I call the Eiffel Tower. You see the way it went straight up and straight down. Looks just like the Eiffel Tower. I usually type this in. I didn't have a chance now because I was asked to do the Tommy show. That looks like an uppercase A, right? Just straight up and straight down. And then you start the day. After you're done with that, now you start to look at other techniques. And what does the technique say? It says, well, you've got your third technique. I should have started off with this. This would have been the first one. For those of you who trade futures, I should do this in my show because I'm not sure if in Tommy's show he doesn't always talk about the futures. He talks a lot about, for instance, he would have been putting together the economic report today, which still hints at strong inflation, and he would have been discussing in terms of rates and all sorts of fabulous things like that. I don't do that, so I always listen to him very closely to learn about that. Now look at this. This is a pattern you should learn. If you trade futures, there are periods where at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, look, here's 4 o'clock, because yesterday you had Microsoft and Google that spiked it up higher. But once it settles down, it's usually sometimes right at 4 o'clock or 4:30. But once it settles down, the futures can really just be impossible because they trade within a very narrow band. And it goes, look at this, it went from 4:30 yesterday afternoon all the way to even up until now. It's even though it's gone slightly low, it's still within the rectangle. Isn't that incredible? Now, I always do Chapman wave notation. I was sleeping. Well, I wasn't sleeping there, but I had already done this. But from that high that was made at 2 in the morning, I did this in the morning when I wake up. I automatically, I always do the Chapman wave notation in the different futures or whatever I'm showing. I mean, I must have done, easy, over 500,000 charts over the many, many decades that I've been doing this. It's easy, more than that. So within that context, and they're all hand charted. So within that context, you've got a peak A, B, C, D. It went to very quickly to an E, then it pulls back, takes out the initial support line, and then it goes peak A, B, C, and then you got that spike up at 8:30, whoops, up and down, and now you're testing the lower part of the band. If the 5110 support is taken out, 5104, the 200 period exponential moving average, is going to be support. So that really was the first thing I wanted to talk about. Second thing was that, the first thing would have been the Chapman wave trend gauge low reading yesterday, which suggested no matter how high the Dow is in the futures, sometime in the morning, usually it's quite early in the morning, that's after the open, there's a slide to the negative, and then it attempts to rally. And that's really what I'm saying. So it goes negative. That's the whole thing about this particular indicator. When on the downside, when it's a very low trend gauge reading, the Dow slips negative. When it's high trend gauge reading, the E-mini has a really strong rally that helps the Dow at some point overnight or the very next day. So that was number one. Number two is the long rectangle. Number three is the Eiffel Tower. Number four is right here. We've got to get to our story. And the story is that the SMHs are still holding up 133 at 213.53. They made a 239.14 high on the 8th of March. I wanted to show you this. NVIDIA had a round number, 974.00 high on the 8th of March. It says since then, I use round numbers, and I've spoken about them over and over and over and over. Everyone, I mean, I got bored with it, but it was just fascinating. Every time someone gave me a stock to look at, I said, oh, wait a minute, it just had a round number high. And now I'm also looking at round number low. So what did NVIDIA do? It had on the 19th of, that's 19th of April, about a month and a quarter, say 5 weeks later, it makes a low. And that day it goes to 756.06, and it has a 762.00 round number. I mentioned this the other day. That's the reason why I wanted to be very careful with it. We've been looking to short the SOXS like we've done before. I said, okay, we're stepping aside now because there's some residual strength, and I'm anticipating that the weekly chart tries to have a bounce because the 9 is still way over the 14. It's up 11 points at 838 right now. So I would say 756 with a 762.00 round number close on the 19th, and here we are trading at 838. I'd say a 10% move to the upside accounts for using round numbers, and that in this particular case, there's your round number. So S&D have mentioned in the DEM. Let's look at this. Is this SAND? Oh, this is S&D. I don't know what it is, but it's up 212. It's up 19 cents at 231. Peak A. Always scroll to the left. Your only obligation in Chapman wave is to identify correctly the low bar. So that's the low bar right there. So that's A, and then A, B. Now, when it trades just in pennies, I tend to use the parallel high if it happens for 3 bars or consecutively. I use one of them as a phantom peak. So that takes us to A, B, C. That becomes the D right there. Yeah, okay. I like this just in terms of it pushing away from the 200 period moving average. And the monthly chart has already made a leg B. Remember, this is your starting point right here. So always you're looking for a D, right? At least a D in a buy signal to buy mode. So this is trading at about 0.52 or something like that back in 2020. That's the year 2020, not the price. A, B, C, D. E, and then an F, and then it has a huge, from just under 5, it plummets down to about $1.47. All right, then it starts a new move. Now this is where I really can't put an up arrow here because I don't have, and look, the stochastics is still pretty weak, the MACD is weak, so I usually put whatever the letters is. Now the whole thing is, if you come down sharp, if the price comes down sharply in a single leg A to the downside, usually that bounce off to the upside is very strong. This went to a B, so this is a peak A right here. I think that's a double top right there, so let's do this. This is SND trading at 227, up $2.27. So the 180, 264, 265. That's why I wanted to do it. I could see there was a penny difference. So that's A, that's B. But look at this. That's A, and that's B. So all round, you're in B. I'll be back in a moment. Basil Chapman, sitting for Tommy O'Brien.
Tigers, the inaugural session of Live Trading Fridays with Larry Pesavento was a massive success. Trades were communicated, questions were answered, and money was made. Every second and fourth Friday of the month, from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, Larry wants you to join him as he places live trades and takes your questions. That's right, with this monthly subscription, you receive access to 2 live trading events. We are gearing up for the next session Friday, April 26th, so there's still time to sign up. For this month only, use code LarryLive at checkout in order to secure $50 off your monthly subscription price for as long as you subscribe to the service. We'll see you next Friday, April 26th, Tigers. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Looking at the Dow and the Chapman wave low trim gauge reading worked again. The Dow went fractionally negative. That was the whole thing, and the futures were up huge earlier on. Good. Success. I don't have to cancel it out. Usually what I do is I put a line through let me show you right here. Chapman wave trend gauge right there. Look, it's a little messy, but everybody who knows my work knows that page. Look, there it is. So low reading, and I don't have to do anything. Here are high readings, and the next day you got a sharp move up. in the Dow, in the S&P, and this is for the Dow to go negative. Now it's down 11. Okay, good. Success. Okay, within this context, here we go. I want to talk about different things that I want to talk about. Probably what Tommy would want to be talking about. Let's just finish this SND. Yeah, it's acting quite well. It's just opened up 20 cents now. So I'm calling that a D because that was a phantom B. Now, what would normally happen is that would become a B. Under it, we've got an A and a B, and then you've got an overlapping wave. That should be a C, which says you should go to a D. But I like to be a little conservative. I use those phantom peaks when you've got parallel highs, especially when you've got a price of a stock at $2.34 because it's important. So that becomes another A, another B, and this is now an E. And now we're a little ahead of the game. E, but that's important. And you've got the weekly chart, A, B. We've just started C. What do we get here? We've got, look at this. There's your A. Yep, everything's working. This is, you see, I love it when I've got a stock or an index that does a lot of peak Ds. It gets to D. I say that's the characteristic. Now you know. So you can keep that in mind for the next move up. So this is a leg C, a new leg C in the weekly chart. It should tackle the 250, 200 period exponential moving average in the weekly chart. I'm not going to give you a time, although if I did time, I would say it's within the next week and a half that it should do that. We'll see what happens. All right. So that's a new buy signal that's upgraded to buy. Oh, it hasn't gone to 80% in the stochastic, but it is rallying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And now you've got key support in the 215 to 208 area. Oh, I hope that helps you. Next question came, could I look at the copper stocks? FCX, and I think it came out with earnings. Whoa! Oh, that was not this. Yes, FCX is Freeport McMoran Inc. Copper trading at 49.93 right there. That's the price. It looks like a little dot there on my chart on the left. That's the daily. Now, I would normally be putting a down arrow because it closed sharply underneath the 14-period moving average so many times. But look what happened. The 9-period never went negative. So I have to put a red plus over here saying I wouldn't be surprised if there's almost like an alternate count. And that's really like an E. There was Chapman wave instant restart right here. So that could be E/A, F/B, G/C, which I typed in. Then it goes to a D, goes to an E. I only need one dot, the one plus sign there. And then it goes to the E, just over 52, pulls back, but it's still walking the 9-period moving average. So I have to wait before I can even give it a sell signal. All the technicals actually, MACD, stochastic, are quite negative. The relative strength is quite good. So I'm suggesting to you that there's a pattern that I look at. I'll draw it in here. It has two possibilities. One is it's making a cup formation that wants to retest the previous high, and that's the high in Freeport McMoran at 52.42. I mean, so just type that in, right? 52.42, 52.42, and within the context of this pattern that I'm looking at, it's called the falling axe, where you make lower highs and much lower lows, and then all of a sudden the price says, wait a minute, I'm forming a base. Actually, let me show you the chart pattern because it's important. Right here. I have to lift that up there, right there. Oh, just let me explain something quickly. This is also the long, narrow rectangle. For those of you who trade futures, remember, that is a pattern in the evenings. It happens maybe 3 out of 5 or 6 even sessions in the evening. You get the long, narrow rectangle. That wasn't what I wanted to show you. What I wanted to show you is this Chapman wave falling axe formation. Rally up, make lower highs and much lower lows, then it forms a base and suddenly it forms a cup formation. If it takes out this trend line, sharply, then you look at each left side high. That's your target on the left until it goes to test the previous high. That's going to be really important. That's at 52.42. All right. So that's the falling axe formation. And we've got a little ping. And the little ping says, let's go to find out. We have typing in, coming in through, I'm only coming in through one chat. Mark in Fort Collins. Mark, how are you?
Good, Basil. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. You'd like to look at?
MSOS. We've been in it, and I was looking to find out when you're thinking of getting back in, or just are you done?
No, I'm not done. This is Advisor Shares Pure U.S. Cannabis. Together with that, there's an MJ, which once upon a time we had for huge gains. We've tried it subsequently once or twice and said, I haven't touched it for a long time. And that's the Alternate Harvest ETF. So you've got MSOS. Now, one of the things I looked at for that really nice rally that we had, and I have to talk about it in terms of, right. So this is the cannabis sector. And what I had said was, Kamala Harris, I can't remember exactly what she said, but there were some favorable comments. And I said, until we get not just the whole idea of the banking, everything that goes with it that's been problematic, but until we get politicians using this as a tool to say, I don't know, I shouldn't be so cynical that they would use this as a bias towards getting a different age group to join in the political atmosphere. But I just, it wouldn't hurt. And so she started talking about it, and I said, if she continues, if it becomes an issue, then I think you need the resonance to expand so that the talking about the whole cannabis area becomes such that the cannabis stocks start to rally, and they don't do just one-off like we've seen so many times, that there's a sustained discussion. And then when we got stopped out, I said, you know what, I think I'm just stepping aside for now. If you had to ask me looking out closer towards the election, towards the end of the summer, maybe in the fall, I think it could come up as an issue, but I need to hear it as, I want to be able to read about it, not every day, but every couple of weeks, there's something going on. It can't be once and then it just fades. This is now about a month and it's faded away. So you can see what I'm looking at. I can't look at this purely technically, because this, for me, the reason why we were able to get the last huge move back a few years ago is because the stocks were doing so well, and you got that huge rally that went from MJ back in the 8s all the way to 34.58 back in February of 2021. And since then, there's been nothing. Hold on a second. So I do want to look at a couple of the stocks, and I want to discuss something that's in the same purview, but just a little different. So I'll be back with Mark and Ford Collins.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hi folks, we're back. I'm just checking something. I think I forgot to cut and paste for Friday my opening call. I know I did it correctly in terms of the everything that I said to do, plus the new entry that we're trying to get. I don't know. I haven't even checked anything yet because I've been doing the show, but I've just done it now so that I have the correct. The left side always has the diamonds. I have the chart and it explains the technique that we're looking at, what we're looking at. And I think I forgot to give you the right one this morning. So I apologize for that, but I know that everything went out correctly. So anyway, with that said, what I want to do is talk about is I was looking at, there we go. We were looking at, there it is, the MJ. So we've got Mark on the line. So Mark, when I'm looking at the MSOS, as much as you can do the technical stuff, this is where the fundamentals are going to be so important. It means that within the context of all the chart formations, and this MSOS, which is the advisorship pure U.S. cannabis, and one of the things I said at the time was I was choosing the MSOS instead of the MJ, which had all the other countries, all the other, the full cannabis section of companies. This is U.S. cannabis. And I thought, all right, well, if we're going to get the push politically, this is going to work. But I'd also said that if I was looking at this over a period of long term, even if we were to buy it right here at 844 at the time, I've said it's between 830 and even 9. I said there's a really good chance, and I would put that at a 75% or more. There's a really good chance that even if something happened and it dropped sharply and down to the 7s or even 6s, that's a horrible percentage loss if you were to sell. I think if you held it, this is something that just on a purely visual basis, that ugly candle of the, what month was that? That was December of 2022, where the high was 14.60 and the low was 6.36. I believe it'll get nicely into that candle. But for subscribers, I'm not prepared to do that. I'm not sitting with anything that sits in that portfolio every day. It's going down another 5% or 10. I can't do that. I just can't do that. So in that regard, I'm trying to time the next move. Now, if I had to look at the next move in terms of timing, there's a way I could do this. And I would say this is now just on a measured move from here to here. Okay, I'm going from the high that was made back in February to the low that was made in March. I'm going to clone that right there, make it a new one. So I've copied and pasted. and I'm putting it in here. I can't go as much to the right as I want at this point, so let me go to this, and it goes space to the right. I have 7. I'm going to make it 14 just for argument's sake here to get it all the way across. There it is. And that just says, I've been looking out. This doesn't give you the price. There is a one-to-one measured move, but I'm not saying that this is the price at this particular point. I'm looking at more as a time factor, and it says by about the second week of May, if the it's at 8.11 right now, the 200-period moving average, if that, like it did before, acts as a magnet, the next move up that takes it to, and now this is all speculation, that takes it so that the pink 9-period moving average can get close to the 14-period moving average and then flip to the positive side. That's where I think you get the next move to the upside. So what's your risk? Just on this purely visual basis, the risk is to the low that was made, and because it made a higher high, I would say the low is going to probably be a higher low, and that's the low of 730 on the 12th of March. So I know that you're looking at this, and I'm not sure if you are still holding any position, but I'm going to say that this needs the political atmosphere. It just needs to be pervasive, that every time you look in the newspaper, you see something about something that's favorable to the cannabis sector. That's what's needed. It's not just on a purely technical basis. You have to have that fundamental push. And as of now, I just don't see it. But it's holding pretty well. As I said, I just don't want to be sitting with something that's going against us. I mean, I just don't like to do that. I don't know if that helps you, but that's kind of how I'm looking at it. The other thing is it has made a peak D in the weekly chart. So you can expect a pullback, but that 9-period moving average is still holding really well. As I see it, I think there's actually limited downside to the MSOS, the Advisor Shares Pure U.S. Cannabis Sector ETF, but that doesn't mean to say that it has to rally sharply. But I think it's getting ready for at least another serious pop to the upside. I don't know if that helps you.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Thank you. Appreciate it. You helped me be patient, so that's good.
Yeah, I think patient. And not only that, Mark, you can see this is one where if it starts to make higher highs and higher lows, even as a trade, that starts to work. But it hasn't done that. It's making lower highs and lower lows. So let's put that together and we'll see what we can come up with. Now, the original starting point for the weekly chart was on that double bottom low back on 1st of September at 479. 478. 478 was the week of the 25th of August. And that's still your kickoff point. So all of these peaks have to be counted. Hope it helps you. Thank you so much for calling.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Fine. Bye-bye. So, folks, now you've got the Dow up 105. Isn't that an amazing indicator? You know, I always say that if, like, what's his name? Who was the guy with the Nissen? What's his name? Nissen, who did the candlesticks. And I went to a number of his workshops. I went online. I saw him in live. He made a whole career out of that. And yet when I looked at what he was talking about with the candles, there was nothing that was consistent that I found. Maybe some people did. I just love the fact that he introduced the United States to candlestick charting in a very popular way, because it was more kind of a private thing at that point. But but I always said I could have a black box and use this as a particular indicator. But hey, that's just the way it is. And look, the Dow is up. Let me just show you the Dow chart right here. Dow, IND, U. There it goes. So look at this. The 9 is still very weak, under the 14. There's a nice bounce from yesterday's candle. The MACD, I said yesterday that MACD is still weak, and now it's positive. That's the MACD. The relative strength, this is the little gray line in the daily chart right here. That's good. The stochastics at 46% is improving, but that's not good. Look at the on-balance volume. That's because that heavy selling. But look at that. It's still very weak. So this is a mixed picture. I'm not getting a signal here that says, oh, my goodness, you just got to go long. It's a fantastic move. I can see a bounce, but as we get into Tuesday of next week, that's where I want to really assess, and I want to see the close today. So with that said, another break. Oh, man, time is flying. I've got one more segment left, and then I'll do my show, the Tiger Technicians Hour. Basil Chapman, This is the morning market kickoff. Dow's up 133, S&P's up 44.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi, folks. So yesterday, right at the close, you had Google with earnings that were evidently fabulous. Not only fabulous, but spectacular. It's up 17 at 174.97. We'll look at that move, and it's in a leg E, I believe. Is this a brand new leg to the upside in the weekly chart? No, it's a leg E. Oh, it's a little slow. I'm going to have to try to. Oh, it's too late to do that, to restart. I thought I'd already done that. So, yeah, leg E in the weekly and leg E in the monthly chart. Unbelievable. Alphabet Inc. Alphabet Inc. Yeah. And now you've got Microsoft. Microsoft also acting very, very well. And that's really helping. Microsoft, of course, is in the Dow, and that's making a big difference. Trading at MSFT, trading at 409.67, up 10.83. Yeah, this is very nice. We've been long since 338. It's doing very nicely. Yeah, we anticipated some kind of a digestive phase. This is still part of the digestive phase as I see it right now. After the double top of the 430.82 area on the 24th of March. Look at that rectangle. Rectangles invariably see a pullback, and this is what we've got. So with that said, I'm going to do my show coming up, the Tiger Technicians Hour. most importantly, within that hour, we'll have that first, this opening gambit that says you've got a half hour in, let's see what happens. And then at 10:20 comes the real market, the next phase of the market today. We'll see how we're going to close. So far, a lot of buying. Dow's up 162, S&P's up 49. So with that said, check out my opening call, my daily newsletter. And I'm waiting to see, did that resolve the sound issue? I think so. We had to switch the way we got the mic set up. We're all set. So I'm waiting for the gong to go so that I can get something done here. I would like to shut down and restart because I don't like to lose all my data if there's a problem. And as I'm waiting, we've got the Dow now up 152. Oh, I wanted to show you this. This is gold. I didn't do silver. Gold is, gold as we're going out now. GC, gold is up 9 and silver is up 11 cents. I'll be back in a moment. Basil Chapman, Tiger Traditions Hour coming up. We'll do the news as well. See you.